Hello, welcome back to the Cricket Draft channel. The County Championship is nearly upon us. We're in the middle of March. The games are getting closer. My name is Dan Jadzovic. I'm your host. I'm joined by our analyst and our expert, Dan Weston. And today, we're announcing the following counties' provisional squads. We've got Essex, we've got Nottinghamshire, and we've got Warwickshire, which you will be getting exclusive access to as one of the sensible people that are subscribed to the Cricket Draft YouTube channel. I've just received these, and our resident analyst, Dan, aforementioned Dan Weston, hasn't actually seen them yet. So, what I'd like to do is hand them over to Dan, get his initial reactions, find out where the value is in these squads. And we're going to start with Essex. So, Dan, have a look at those players and see who's taking your eye.
Well, very strong squad, Dan, to start with. And I think that they're going to be one of the challengers towards the top of the table. Looking at the squad, I think that the bowling is exceptional. Sam Cook, Jamie Porter, who got the most wickets last year, they're going to be bankers, and I think that they'll play most games. As sad as it is to see, I don't think that Sam Cook will get any England call-ups to take him away from the Essex squad. So those two, and now they are backed up by overseas Shardul Thakur, who's going in as an all-rounder rather than a bowler. I wondered which one would be which, but he's going in as an all-rounder, which I think is fair. And I think he'll definitely earn points with the bat as well as with the ball. So those are three options straight away. I think they're going down the price list a little bit. I think Jordan Cox, it looks a decent option at 7.4. He might keep, but I don't think he probably will. I think he'll probably field, but he's an excellent fielder. Probably going to get more fielding points than most in this Essex team. Probably more than most in the whole game. And looking down at the lower points, the lower prices, sorry, I should say. Luke Benkenstein, and Charlie Allison look potentials who have high upsides.
Okay, some good insight, some good initial reactions as well. Let me press you though. Let me press you for a banker. Let me press you for a bit of a wild card pick, and let me press you for a young gun as well if I can.
Yeah. Banker, how can I look at anyone past Sam Cook at 8.4? I mean, this guy's a points machine. The best bowler in the county circuit for my money, whether that's domestic or overseas. Likely to play pretty much every game unless he gets injured. It's safe as houses, I would have thought. One to watch, I think that Shardul Thakur 8.3 with batting and bowling points. I mean, I could definitely see a scenario where he outperforms Simon Harmer if he on a game per game basis. Harmer's $500,000 more, so that's something to look at. And then I'm going to go for Charlie Allison as the youngster, who could potentially offer great value at 4.3. He's played in and out, a lot of 50 over stuff, bit of T20. I think that he's got a huge ceiling, really nice potential. And this could be the year that he breaks through into the Essex team. So perhaps a decent option for your squads as well.
Cool. Next up, Nottinghamshire. It's been a 15-year wait since they last won the county championship back in 2010, and I think in recent years has been a little bit of an underperforming county for the stature. But Dan, I've just sent you through the squads. Who's taken your eye from Nottinghamshire?
Wow. Okay, this is right live as we speak. So I'm just literally scanning down the squads. First month, I think that Fergus O'Neill is going to be playing as an overseas 7.5. I think he's the perfect prototype of an overseas bowler, really, for county cricket. It just hits great areas all day long, and maybe might add a little bit of points with the bat as well, maybe number 9 or something like that. So he looks great value at 7.5. Joe Clark 7.5 was one of the top picks last year in the comp. Got just over 1,500 points. Looking at the points, so he's another option. Dylan Pennington potentially as well could be good at 7.2. I think that's a good price. Probably shade off the England squad at the moment. So availability if he's not injured should be pretty good. And those are three sort of bowling orientated. 2 bowling orientated and 1 batting pick to start with. Mohammed Abbas is a little bit expensive at 8.1, but I think should get more expensive, but should get some good points as well. I definitely expect him to do well, having moved from Hampshire and having a great track record in county cricket. And then looking at some of the cheaper options, Conor McCurr's been bought in from Surrey at 5.3. He could play in and out. I would say probably sort of 6 to 8 games maybe in the season. So that could be a good price if we think he's going to play. Freddie McCann is a batter of great potential at 5.3, coming through the England under-19 setup recently, and I think that he could definitely have a breakthrough year. And also the same for Farhan Ahmed at 4.9. Rayhan's younger brother. I've known about him for a good few years in terms of his potential, and I'm hearing that maybe he might get some game time this year for Notts. So that could be interesting. And the last player going through these lower prices at 4.4, Rob Lord, is someone that I know that people at Notts think pretty highly of as well. So some options there, top, middle, and bottom in terms of your prices, Dan.
Perfect. Again, I'm gonna just make you work a little bit harder for us, Dan. I'm gonna ask you for a banker. I'm gonna ask you for that wild card. And I'm gonna ask you for the young gun from Nottinghamshire.
Okay, banker. I'd love to go O'Neill, but I think overseas playing his first county stint is probably a bit of a tricky one. So I'm going to go with Joe Clark because of his consistent point scoring last season, and the fact that he might end up keeping as well as batting. We're not sure of that yet, but that's a possibility as well for some more upside. One to watch though, I am gonna go with the aforementioned Fergus O'Neill. First month of the season only because that's all his visa entitles him to play. But he could be a points machine in that first month. And then the young prospect to watch. How can I ignore Farhan Ahmed? If the conditions are right for them to play him as a specialist spinner, I'm really excited to see how he gets on in this Notts team.
Finally, Warwickshire. Well, one of the biggest counties in the competition, aren't they? Absolutely enormous fan base. Last won the championship in 2021. Pretty tough season last year, though. Dan, you've just been sent through the squads. Who are you looking for?
Okay, wow. Just literally looking through the squad at the moment. Um, Looking straight away, I can see Ed Barnard at 7.7, one of the best players in terms of point scoring last season. Will likely play as maybe fourth seamer and bat in the top six, top seven. So that's a really good point scoring option, I think, as long as he stays fit. Sam Haynes just signed a new contract at 7.4. Looks pretty reasonable value. Ethan Bamber, new signing at 7.1 from Middlesex. I would expect him to do pretty well. I would say that he's got the game definitely to step up to back to Division One, having been relegated a couple of years ago with Middlesex. Um, it's important, I think, with this Warwickshire team to say a couple of things to start with. A bit of availability potential issues. Jacob Bethel going to the IPL, and an array of overseas players who they've signed. But make sure you nail down those availabilities for those guys, and then the likes of Chris Wokes, who's expensive at 8.4 in terms of the proportion of your budget, but make sure that he's going to play a lot of games, or that he's not going to have his workload managed by England as well. I think would be pretty important. Looking through some other options, I really like the some of the cheaper players in this squad as well. Hamza Sheikh at 4.3 is a young batter with real promise from the under-19s. I think maybe he might get some game time this season. And also having lost a couple of wicket keepers, Chris Benjamin to Kent and Michael Burgess to retirement, Kai Smith at 4.3 could be a great shout as a wicket-keeping option for Warwickshire this season, because they don't really have any other wicket-keepers in the squad apart from Alex Davies, and Davies often likes not to keep. So that could be a real boost for some good value picks, I think, in this Warwickshire squad.
Fantastic. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to ask
Yep,
you
let's
for a
do it.
banker. I'm
Let's
going to
do it.
ask you for a wild card. And I'm going to ask you for a young gun from Warwickshire as well.
Yep. Okay. Banker, I'm going to go with Ed Barnard, 7.7. Same price as overseas Bo Webster, but I think Ed Barnard will have a bit more match involvement, actually. Barnard, I think, will bowl more and bat a similar amount of balls. So that for me looks like a slightly better choice. And as I say, regular point scorer last season, one of the leading point scorers last year. So that's something to consider as well in terms of that track record. So he's my banker. The wild card, I am gonna go for. Oh, this is a tough one, actually. It's a tough one. And a tough one. I'm gonna go for Ethan Bamber as a bowler at 7.1. I think that he's got the skill set to make that step up to Division One in terms of hitting good areas consistently. That's his game. He's not express pace, but he does look to hit good line length as much as possible, which is generally a pretty good recipe for success in county cricket. And then for my young gun, I am going to go for Kai Smith because I think he might get some decent game time this year. And at 4.3 million, if you can get a starting player in your team regularly for 4.3, that's an absolute steal. So I'm going to go with Kai Smith for that one.
Fantastic. Dan, thank you so much for your time. Folks, thank you for watching. Some breaking news for you on the Cricket Draft channel this week. Yeah, let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know who the best picks are from those 3 counties, who your bankers are, who your young guns are. Are you going to be building your squads around any of those players in particular? Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, share this video with your friends. Let us know who you're picking in your team when the app goes live as well. We'll see you soon for another video.